Despite a struggling economy, consumers' confidence in technology expectations has hit the highest level since last December. That's according to today's report from the Consumer Electronics Association, which measures consumer expectations for technology spending. Joining us now is David Eiswert, portfolio manager at Rowe Price. He oversees the more than $521 million global technology fund. Mr. Eiswert, welcome to Bottom Line. Thanks for coming on. Describe the current environment. Can you draw an arc for us from 30 years ago at the beginnings of the PC movement to now?
That's a great question. I think what happened with PCs was that people began to use PCs at work. Enterprises adopted PCs, and you had a compatibility issue. If you used a PC at work to work on projects, you ended up buying a PC at home so you could work at home as well. And so we had a huge movement of the adoption of personal computing at home, and Microsoft and Intel benefited. I think where we are today is that because of some changes in semiconductor technology, because of connectivity and broadband and wireless, we've really seen a move to a new architecture for computing.
So is this the post-PC era we're witnessing?
I think that's one way to put it. I think PCs will be around a long time, but I think what we're seeing is that people are adopting mobile computing, and mobile computing using ARM architectures, Android, Apple, iOS, to do a lot of the things they used to, the marginal things they used to do with computers. So you need a computer to do heavy lifting.
Are companies able to keep up with this transformation, because a lot of their employees and a lot of their customers are now, they're mobile all the time?
I was talking to some IT people a few weeks ago, and they were saying this is the most challenging time they've had, enterprise IT people, this is the most challenging time they've had to deal with their customers who are enterprise users. Enterprise users now, instead of bringing your work IT infrastructure home, they're bringing their home IT infrastructures to work. They want to use social networking, collaboration, they want to bring their Macs to work, they want to bring their Android smartphones to work, and the enterprise IT department has to cope with that.
Talk about a change in landscape. What are the next 5 to 10 years going to look like in emerging markets, particularly Asia? Are we going to see a doubling of growth there?
So what's really interesting about that is we've got 7 billion people in the world today, right? And compared to 10 years ago, a lot of those people, I mean, hundreds of millions of people now have a standard of living that's much higher. They're also connected to the global economy, connected to global trends, so they want to participate in the same things we're seeing in the United States and Europe. They want smartphones, they want to use the internet, they want to use Facebook, they want to use Twitter. And so we're seeing a rapid adoption of these mobile computing technologies in emerging markets.
One of your strategies at Rowe Price, you're looking for companies that can benefit from what you call profound change. Describe that change, and what companies do you like right now?
Okay. One thing we're seeing is a transformation in how we use data, and it's almost, I think about it like the Wayne Gretzky effect, and that companies want to basically skate to where the puck is going, the puck being their customer,
and see the whole field,
and
see the whole rink,
and see the whole thing. And I think great athletes like Wayne Gretzky, what they're able to do is process a ton of information and data and make a decision faster than their competitors. And so we're seeing enterprises try to adopt new software systems, new ways to analyze data so that they can skate to where the puck's going. And so companies like Tibco and Informatica are companies that allow an enterprise, which is collecting a tremendous amount of data. Really, the amount of data that an enterprise collects on its customers, on its employees, is growing at an exponential rate. So the question is, what do you do with that data? How do you make decisions? So companies like Informatica and Tibco help companies take that information and then make decisions to make their businesses more efficient.
Is there another Apple or another Google on the horizon? I'm sure you've probably been asked that a zillion times, but it comes up a lot.
Yeah. It's interesting because companies like Apple and Google have built barriers to entry for their business. And I think we're looking at Apple spending about $8 billion on CapEx in the next year. Apple doesn't have any factories, so this CapEx is going into tools for the companies that help them manufacture. So the question is, how do you compete with that kind of prowess? Google the same way. I mean, we think that Google's business in search is probably has the characteristics of being a natural monopoly in terms of how search works. So it's tough to see those businesses being derailed. I think social clearly has room for something new to emerge, and Facebook and Twitter and companies like that. The other area I would say is in local commerce and really building out a platform for local commerce. That hasn't happened yet. It's a green field, so there could be something that emerges there.
This is to be continued. I hope you'll come back because this is a fascinating topic and something that we've been hearing a lot about from our guests, and particularly guests who've been joining us on our program Be West, which is on from San Francisco every day. David Eiswert, Portfolio Manager, Rowe Price. Thanks for coming in, sir. It's a pleasure to meet you. Enjoy your holiday.
Thank you. You too.